Meeting Lex Luthor, meeting the cast of Smallville, guys. Wizard World Comin Con, just epic times. And this right here, this is like my favorite, Smallville prized possession, if that's what you want to call it. It's signed by Clark, Lex, and Lana. I got it at Wizard World, and it's my favorite. It's my favorite Smallville picture, collectible. And there's a little story behind it, and I wanted to share that with you. Today's video, it's a little short story, I promise. But guys, I mean, this was one of the best day of my life. You know what I mean? Meeting my heroes. If you've seen my other videos, you know that my daughter and I just moved into our little house, and we moved in here just or during the holiday, right before the new year. And I chose this house because of the extra space it had. I thought it would make the perfect YouTube room, but it's been so busy. We've just been doing other things, and we haven't gotten around to it, setting everything up, taking everything out of boxes. And by the way, guys, I just got my official Superman table, Superman desk for YouTube. Long story short, I've been wanting something like this for years. And if you look online right now for a Superman table or a Superman desk, there aren't too many options, and it's been kind of those same options over the last, few years. So my daughter and I, we were driving the other day, and I told her, I was telling her this. I was like, oh, I've looked online, I can't find anything. And so she's looking online on her phone, and she's like, well, what about this? And it turns out that there was a super girl, a super fan, here locally, who basically made this herself for her. She's a big Superman fan. For whatever reason, she needed to part ways with it, so we contacted her. She brought it to us. So it's mine, it's custom. Miss Raquel, thank you so much. Thank you for your response. Thank you for all your help and support. I love it, my daughter loves it, and it will be in every YouTube episode, moving forward. So thank you so much. So, Wizard World Comic Con 2019, this was right before COVID, guys. I did do a full episode on meeting everybody. If you haven't seen it, check it out, it's on my channel. But meeting Lex Luthor, meeting Michael Rosenbaum was very special, and funny and inspiring at the same time. So I had just bought this picture, okay? My favorite picture, I bought it there at the Comic Con. It had this, kind of metallic, finish to it. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. So I bought it, and I was really tight on money, so that was like the only thing I bought at the Comic Con. And anyhow, I approached the booth, and he's about to sign it, and his assistant comes in and hands him one of his like a prepped meal, kind of like we all do today, right? And Michael Rosenbaum, obviously, he's always remained very fit, very trim, so he's got his little prepped meal, and he's eating, and he's telling us some jokes and stuff, and he's about to sign, and then his assistant is like, Michael, and he had spilled all of he was eating, I guess, like boiled eggs or something, and all of this egg grease was all over my picture. I had just bought it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, no. And I didn't have any more money, you know what I mean? And, so they're trying to clean it, and the assistant, she's pulling out tissues and all this kinds of stuff. And anyway, he's like, at one point, Michael was just kind of like, hey, I think I can work with this. And so basically, he's like, I'm just going to kind of sign around, the mess. And he did. And if you look closely, I mean, you can see a little bit of grease here and there, but it was just awesome. And he's just like, I'm sorry, I spilled my egg juice all over you. And he was laughing about it. And don't take that the wrong way. But it was really funny. So that was my introduction to Michael Rosenbaum. So fast forward, we get to the panels, and the guys, the girls, they both put on a great show. Michael had everyone laughing. He was in the audience. I mean, he was hugging people. There was this one moment where he did a perfect Keanu Reeves impression.
Dude, Tom and I used to do Keanu Reeves all the time. I go, Clark, I need you to help me now. Damn, let me do that again. We used to do it constantly. Go ahead. Oh, you already asked the question.
So he does the impression, right? And then literally they're trying to speed up the questions because we're running out of time. So Michael literally jumped into the audience, and he's just kind of like zipping through everybody's questions, trying to get them answered, because there were a lot of people in that specific panel. And this one guy, he's asking a question, and Michael like just grabs his phone and then like snapping selfie. And he was doing that with a lot of people, but that was the kind of guy he was there. He was just so amped, so full of energy.
I can show you, I have a scar.
So at the end of the day, I had bought the VIP package. And guys, if you're gonna go to a Comic-Con, if you're gonna meet your heroes, buy the VIP package. It's so worth it. Whatever you gotta do, just make it happen. I mean, it's worth it, I promise you. And so they take us, there was only a few of us, and they took us, they kind of like walk us around, you know, behind the booths, behind these curtains, and then they like kind of pull the curtain and just kind of unveil, and you know, they're the cast members just sitting at these two tables, and they basically told us, you know, you have 15 minutes, go ahead, and you get to sit right next to them. They didn't allow us to have our phones, you know, they had you know, employees taking photos for us. But you know, we got to talk to all the cast members, and they would just kind of rotate, you know, amongst the or around the tables, and we got to talk to everybody. And at the very end, you know, so it's like the 15 minutes are up, and everyone's getting up, and they're kind of letting everyone go like individually, you know, both Smallville cast and VIP members. And for whatever reason, there was a delay, so I was the last one to leave, and I was sitting with Michael Rosenbaum. He was eating another prep meal, and guys, this was the magical moment for me, you know, the magical moment, you know, when you get to meet, you know, one of your heroes. And you know, Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite actor in Smallville. You know, I'm a big Superman fan, I'm a big Clark Kent fan, but Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite actor. You know, acting is my passion, guys, and I was really inspired by his performance, his presence, his work on Smallville, and it was just me and him, and he was literally like, you know, not even less than a foot away from me. And you know, the question that I had, because he was eating another prep meal, and you know, he was still full of energy and doing this and eating his food, and I just asked him, you know, hey, how do you stay in shape? You know, you've always been in shape for Smallville, and everything that you do, you've always remained trim. You know, you're eating a prep meal. You know, what's your secret? How do you do it? And in that moment, what was so you know, inspiring, just again, magic. It's like that energy, you know, turned off. That energy, Michael just leaned in and just, the mask came off, you know, the Comic Con, the energy, you know, it's like, hey, well, you know, he just kind of started telling me about his, you know, his routine and some of the, he's talked about his back issues on his podcast and everything, and he was just talking about that stuff. And it's like, I got a good, you know, I would say, you know, 3 to 4 minutes where he was just kind of just talking to me. Like, he was talking, he wasn't performing, he wasn't, you know, trying, he wasn't putting on a show. And at the very end, I mean, it was just, again, afterwards, they were just like, okay, you know, come on now, whatever, it's time to leave. But just to have that moment with him and kind of, it's almost, I really felt like I got to, you know, talk to the real him for just a few minutes. And that was so cool, guys. And that was just the perfect way to end, you know, my time at the Comic Con, my time at Wizard World. I was so inspired. And by the way, guys, everyone at Wizard World was so, so polite, so productive, so just awesome. I mean, I had a blast, and you know, it was just, you know, I'll never forget it. Mr. Michael Rosenbaum, thank you so much, man. I appreciate your time, appreciate your words. You know, keep doing what you do, my friend. Love the podcast, and I will be doing a full My Favorite Lex video very, very soon. Guys, next week I'll be doing a My Favorite Cyborg video, so please stay tuned. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for believing, thank you for your patience on the YouTube room. Next week, promise it'll be perfect. And guys, stay super out there. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.